The sound of the last word rings in my ears, trials game after trials game. It haunts me. But no more! Maybe now! We have the power! What is going on, YouTube? Matty here, and today we are going to go over and talk about the most recent buff to last word, specifically on mouse and keyboard. This buff was addressed in the TWAB Bungie release on April 21st, going over a ton, and I mean a ton of sandbox changes, as well as how flinch and in-air accuracy is now affected in PvP. We will go over all that in a future video, so if you don't want to miss that, feel free to subscribe. I know, guys, I hate saying it. Let's just get past that and get over it and move on. Anyway, last word is now buffed on mouse and keyboard. Who does that excite? Well, just the people who use mouse and keyboard while playing Destiny 2, which seem to be less than 10% of total players. Yeah, I made that number up, but it sure does feel that way. So what exactly did this buff do? Glad you asked. Mouse and keyboard players now have reduced recoil penalty from 33% down to 22%. Okay, let's break this down. What makes last word so good? Last word has an incredibly fast time to kill of 0.35 seconds, shooting at a whopping 225 rounds per minute. More importantly, it is known in the Destiny community as cracked on the sticks. Yeah, it seems to be slang for this gun is fucking sick when using on a controller due to the insane aim assist it has. Don't believe me? Well, here's a quick show of the last word literally pulling your aim by just walking by somebody. And here's the exact same test done on mouse and keyboard. Seeing a massive difference? Me too. What makes this weapon amazing is the time to kill and the fast RPM combined with the high aim assist controllers seem to have. I will say, before we get into the mouse and keyboard last word gameplay, I want to go over the technical buff. Reducing the recoil penalty wasn't what held last word on M&K back. It's the aim isn't being pulled onto the opponent. You may be asking me, but Matty, doesn't mouse and keyboard have aim assist as well? This explanation isn't that simple, but technically yes and no. Mouse and keyboard has something called bullet magnetism. This is allowing certain weapons to have a larger hitbox than others. Kind of like how if you shoot someone in the waist with a 120, it counts as a headshot. Just a quick explanation before we get into the meat of this video. Okay, so what are we rocking to test this out? Well, we have to rock the newest Solar 3.0 build, which we will be coming out with a PvP build video this week. Those beautiful lucky pants to give you that buff when switching back and forth between our primary and secondary, and then back to our sick primary. Last word, of course, with the ornaments. And then my old beloved, as I'm still farming for my red borders so I can craft the 2021 version of this absolute death stick. I'm sorry, alright? Filming these YouTube videos and trying to grind all day is tough. Give a man a break. So I took this in for quite a few games of Control and Rumble to get a feel out of how this does in a fast environment and a team shooty hectic environment. From what I experienced right off the bat, we know that this is just not as strong as last word on controller. And if you try to 1v1 a controller last word, well, you're gonna get your ass handed to you faster than one of those worms getting shot out of a launcher. It took a few games to really get used to the feel and power that is the last word. First and foremost, I actually had to aim, which for some reason didn't really compute with my brain, as every time I use last word on the sticks, it's a fun breezy time. It didn't have insane range as a conventional hand cannon, but when I got aggressive and started jumping around to confuse my prey, I was able to land quite a few beautiful shots. I even got to the point where I felt like a real gunslinger. But the question still remains, is last word viable on mouse and keyboard, and should you use it? This is entirely up to you. Yep. There really is no real answer here. Is it fun to use? 100%. Are there better options to use for a mouse and keyboard player? Absolutely. In my opinion, this season is unique in the sense where PvP is changing, guys. No longer can you fly in there, in the air, shooting accurately with your hand cannon and clean the enemy team up with a shotgun. With the in-air accuracy nerf, Bungie wanted those little size 4 Guardian feet firmly planted on the ground, preferably in the back with a pulse rifle. So what should you use? Honestly, any exotic hand cannon. Ace of Spades is easily one of the best. Sunshot is phenomenal. And Thorn is pretty great too. These hand cannons will allow you the accuracy and range you need on M&K, and they don't have Icarus, so you're gonna be on the ground anyway. Although the last word is fun to use and great, I just can't help to feel I would kill most enemies a lot faster or cleaner if I had a regular hand cannon. Now, there is an open-ended question here. How or what can Bungie do to make the last word just as good on mouse and keyboard? The rough answer is realistically they can't. Unless they gave the last word the same or a better hitbox bullet magnetism wise to a 120 hand cannon, then it would just not feel the same. And if they did, guys, I fear that would be way too strong. Well, guys, I wanted to keep this short and sweet to get you all the information you needed. Let me know down in the comments if you have tried the last word on mouse and keyboard and what you think about it. As always, guys, I love you, and I'll see you guys on the next one.